Okay, let's start from the bottom. I think I have to go DMB. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anyone, so I don't think this means anything. Wait, did the... Oh, this is gonna ruin the table. It's fine, doesn't matter. No, this will not be a tier list where I put all of my players, all the Kings players, #1. This will not be that. If you came here hoping for that, then let me tell you that's a weird, boring thing to hope for. I'm not going to place my players on first. I think we had the best team play by far at Worlds, but we were not the best players in every role at Worlds. I mean, I'm the first person to say I wasn't the best jungler in the world. I played the best jungle games at Worlds because I had the best team play and we like practiced and prepped for it the best. Anyway, so no one surprised by that. DMB scraped through the play-in tournament. I think he gets a little bit more hate than he deserves. He plays a very good pressure game start, but that's at the start of the game, and he played a lot of good pressure games in the play-ins, even against Coast and Stewart, if I remember right. But he is the 8th. He is the worst player of the worst role. But sorry, nothing personal. The question mark is because I don't know if this is the right numbers. I think it's 429 though. Okay, so next, it's between Coast, who isn't really tested, and Barra, I think. Nothing against Barra. I think he had a great Worlds, in fact, so recency bias might push him up. But the other ADCs in the league are actually pretty consistent and good. Oh, and maybe Royd, but I'm a Royd lover. That's kind of biased, though. Let's go personal bias 20%. Let's do that. What's this? 14? Let's just slam this. Personal bias 20%. We're actually gonna slam Barra here. So recency bias, lovers, sorry. Barra, the thing with him is he can play great or bad at any point. He has this consistency to him. But to be honest, I just don't see it right now. I think we might see a good Barra next year, and we might see a bad one. And I wouldn't be able to tell you. I think it will be... It's between Coast and Royd for me now. Zap... Okay, Zap is like... Actually, no. I'm slightly predicting for Spring Split next year, rather than overall. This is kind of like a prediction as well, kind of thing. And I think Zap's going to have a terrible Spring Split. I always think he plays worse when nothing's on the line, and he always plays better and better as the year goes on. It's always how he's been. So we're actually gonna slam Zap. Coast is just fucking riding his way up right now, isn't he? We're gonna slam Zap here. We're gonna slam Coast here because Coast has to be bottom 4. Come on, guys. Overrated. Well, clearly I'm overrating him. I'm not underrating him. Fucking 5th already. Has one good tournament. Bam, he's 5th. Coast #1, right. Oh, there's some bit of bias. There's definitely some bias. Though I do think Coast is going to be the best player on his team. That's what I believe. So we'll see. We'll see. The problem I have is he's going to be the best player on his team in a meta right now, where I don't think the carry role matters that much. So I think the most criminal thing here is maybe putting Zap at 6th, but I really don't think he's going to do well. I don't think he's going to do well. We are going to put Royd all the way to 4th. He is the GOAT, man. He's the fucking GOAT. I love him. Personal bias 20% at its maximum here. There's definitely a world where Royd is like 7th or 6th, and everyone else goes up. But Royd, he's the GOAT, dude. You gotta just watch some of his plays. He's like a fucking... There's just some gods that he's just an absolute master of. that if he ever locks them in, I just know he's gonna fucking pump. Oh, I should not swear that much if I want to put this on YouTube, and I want to be a more child-friendly content creator. Zap above Coast and Royd. Ah, fuck. Yeah, Zap on 6th just... The thing is, Zap's team, the Leviathan's team, will not end 6th. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like when everyone makes a tier list, they always put all the players around where they think their team's gonna go. Like, let's say I think Leviathan's gonna be the 3rd best team next season, then he's gonna be around 3rd, like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a tier list based on where I think they're gonna place at the end. Yeah, I think we're gonna put Royd Go at 4th. We're gonna keep it there. So the top 3 for me. The top 3 for me are between Jark, Cyclone, and Vote. I don't think that should come as a surprise to many people. I think Vote is like the least proven of those 3 players. I think he's just one less than the other 2. I'm a big Vote fan, but that's why I think he's top 3. But they're all bad. That's what you need to understand. Is all 3. No, even the person top of this list, bad. So we're actually gonna put Vote. I think it's for me. It's the top 3 could be anywhere, and they're interchangeable. They are good at different things, I think. But we're actually a Cyclone skill level fan. I think he's one of the best. So we're actually no, let's not. Yeah. We're actually gonna do 3 in a row here. We're gonna put Cyclone here. We're gonna put Jark here, and we're gonna put Vote here. The 3 they could really be switched around, but this is Cyclone, bro. He's won a Worlds. He's won so many tournaments on Titans. I think they won 2 or 3. They were competitive at every single tournament. This is my prediction. This is personal bias a little bit, but I think Cyclone is going to have a great spring as well. We're actually predicting Cyclone to be the best of all the bad ADCs, including Jark, who is also bad. So yeah, we've done the worst role in the game. This is a crazy toxic tier list. But I think this is right. I think Vote being 3rd is right. He's just consistently a top 4 ADC, but he's not like... I don't think he's been put in a position where he's able to carry a team, and I don't think he will be. Kind of beat that... No, Cyclone, you didn't beat him at Worlds. He didn't. He didn't play. Oh, you mean last year? Well, that was one time, right? Yeah, but I mean, I've been 3-0'd at Worlds before. It doesn't mean anything. Scream 3-0'd me at Worlds Season 4. It didn't mean anything back then. I didn't. Not even the following year did I think for a second that Scream was better than me. It's just what happened. Sometimes you just get 3-0'd. You're so salty, Jark. So salty. Second. Salty second. Maybe if you played a bit more Dead by Daylight with me, then you'd be first. Salty second. Okay, who's the second worst role of players overall? I don't mean like who's... I just mean on average. Who are the next worst role? Solo? Surely not, right? Surely not. Aren't there just a bunch of goats in solo? No, we're not going to do solo next. It might be support. It's either support or jungle, I think. Well, the mid laners are pretty bad. There's like Paul, who's good. It's okay, mate. It's either mid. I think for next it's either mid or support. Solo might be the best role. I hate to say that. I just hate to say that then. Sup, then mid? Am I just going to go right to left? Am I just going to go right to left on my tier list? Yeah, actually, supports are terrible at the game. Let's go with very. Yeah, I mean that's definitely worth considering, Dades, honestly. That's definitely worth considering. So yeah, I think supports in the second worst roll-ins might of players just overall. And we're gonna start with the Okay, this is a weird tier list. So there's Quig, Inbound, and Hurrywind for me as the bottom three. Thanks for the sub, Confiant. All three of them aren't really proven. I don't think any of them have had dominant spells in the SPL. Quig obviously hasn't been to the SPL. Hurry has had very short stints in the SPL. He was a mid laner for most of his time, but he had a few months of support. And I think between the three of them, just because I have no idea how good Quig's gonna be, but I think I'm gonna put Hurry at the bottom. I know it might be unfair, just he was on a top 6 team, but he's actually been playing support the least, the least amount of time of all of them. Of all the supports in the league, but between Quig and Inbound, he's actually played support the least. He might have more potential than them, but I think right now, well, until he plays in the Spring Split and I get to see him again, I didn't rate him very high on the Solar Scarabs. There was a lot of wrong with that team. So if if your team isn't dominating, you as a support is not going to dominate. So this might be unfair putting Hurry at the bottom, but we are actually going to slam him on 8th. And hope that gives him some kind of because I don't want to see him do the worst. I want to see him do better than that. But we're gonna we're gonna slam him 8th. He's just not proven. Like he's not. With what wins would he argue with this? You know what I mean? Quig, I think we are just gonna slam Quig 7th here. I'm pretty high on Quig. I thought he was. We scrimmed them a little bit last year. So I'm using all my knowledge to rate him, right? I thought the Hounds were really consistent last year. I thought Quig made Oath look really good last year, and Oath made his team look really good last year. Let's get that right. I'm not saying that Oath is a fraud because of Quig, but I think Quig was behind every good thing Oath did a lot of the time, and he was just a good SML support that was maybe the best looking guy on that team in the tournaments that they did play. So we're gonna slam Quig 7th, even though I think he could be better and he could be worse than this. We're gonna slam Inbound 6th, mostly because of recency bias. I thought he was the best player on his team on the Gilded Gladiators. I thought he was a big reason why that team even made it. I thought he was shit on way too much when he was in the league. And you're gonna see him fucking int and feed again. You're gonna see him int and feed this year again, and he'll do it again, and that's just the way he plays. And I think it's part of what makes him a good player is that he will int and he's a bit like me, you know. I see myself in him in the support role. Is that he'll int and feed, and he'll spawn, and he'll go back and he'll do an aggressive thing again because he doesn't care about his KDA. I'm not gonna feel safe at night, Tyler. You know, but I'm trying to be savage on this tier list with no respect. So we're slamming inbound 6th. I think most people or more people will think he should be lower, but I'm a Bobby believer, not a Bobby hater. So he's 6th. Okay, and now I think I don't think anyone can really disagree that it's got to be Jake here. Some people might even think Jake should be lower here. I don't think so. I think a lot of people maybe blame him for the Bolts performance last year. I don't know anything about that. I don't know what he sounds like in comms. I don't know how much he like prepares and practices and strategizes. But on game day, I think he's one of those supports that can outplay you. And he is one of those guys that you know he's going to hit his shit before he uses it. Like if he's playing Nox, you know he's going to hit his fucking shit. He's going to hit his one every time. He's going to hit his ult longer range every time. He's just good with his what's the word? Reflexes. He's just good with his muscle memory. I think he's a 5th support, which only I mean I think even if there are Jake haters, reflects how bad the support role is overall. Like look at this bottom 4. Like come on, all bad, pretty bad is what I'd say. Well, Jake had a really good rookie year, right? I thought he was like consistently one of the best players on the Renegades. I think it's ultimately a test to see how he does without Barra and Ven, who I think maybe gave him a little bit of leadership and had that experience. I don't know if Royd and Jake will be the best pairing. I've maybe rated them higher than what they'll do next year. But I do think they're good overall individual players. So we've got Jake here. We're looking at Ronnie, Aurora, PBM, and Genetics now. I'm gonna. I think I always go up and down on Aurora. I go between thinking he's one of the like just a top 2 support or top 2 support and thinking he's a bit overrated all the time. I think that's a mixed bag because he is a product of his practice. And if the practice environment is how he wants, and scrims go fine for them, or they learn from scrims, then I think he does look like the best support, or one of the best supports. But I think when it's not, he doesn't. So I think we're gonna put Aurora and Ronnie 3rd and 4th, in no particular order, and then we're gonna put Geen. We are gonna put the Gen. What I'm doing here is good though. What I'm doing here is good because we're gonna. His head is gonna pop soon, which is gonna be good for the league. His head is gonna pop because it's so big. It's gonna pop like a little piñata. It's so big. His head's so big. He thinks he's so good. But we have got the Geen first. I don't think this is anticlimactic. He's just first though. The Geen just, I mean, we just make him look good on the Kings, but the Geen ego is going to be insane. We're putting him first though, because he's battle. He is battle. Now I think we're going to slam PBM here. Maybe a bit of bias because he's my friend. Although we don't even do anything anymore. I don't remember the last thing I did something like eat a meal with Mike. I think the only thing we do is have little talks when we're in the same like venue together or whatever. But he's my friend, and that's why he's second. No, I think he's a beast. He always has been. He was a beast in season 7 and 8, and I thought he gave what he could to the Dragons. I don't think the Dragons really they didn't deliver on what he can bring to a team, but he is really good mechanically. He's better strategically. I think he's very similar to Genetics, just playing with them both. So we're going to slam him second. We definitely think he has stuff that he is just less quality, maybe less consistency than Genetics. but I think he's the second best support in the league. So we've got Aurora and Ronnie left. I think based on recency bias alone, I've got to put Ronnie lower. I don't know. Ronnie's got this like consistency to him where he'll never be bad. Ronnie he'll never like enter game. He'll never lose you a game ever, which I don't think you could say that about a single other support in the whole list. Thanks for the prime, James. Much appreciated. Welcome to the tree. We're just doing a tier list here. But Ronnie will never lose you a game, which we do love to see. It's probably something you could say about him, but no other support on the entire list. All of these players will lose you games, genetics included. But we are going to put Ronnie fourth. I don't think he's got the heights that Aurora does. And I think Aurora has kind of proven it. Apart from the Worlds win that Ronnie got, Aurora's won a Worlds too, you know. So they're even. But Aurora, he has won a lot of other tournaments apart from just the Worlds that Ronnie won. So we're just gonna slam him third. I think Aurora is overall better, but it could this spring split. I don't know. I have no idea who's gonna do better in their support role. I think Ronnie might do a little bit better actually than Aurora. So far, so good, right? I think we've got a pretty accurate tier list. Are there any criminal positions I put anyone in this tier list? Maybe Zap? When I look at this tier list, I think, fuck me, Zap is low. Apart from that, I think we're looking pretty good. Think PBM's too high, Reyes? I thought his Maui game was fine, Reyes. I think to look at that game and for PBM to take the blame for that game as Maui, no, he didn't play well, he got picked. But his team wasn't trying to get picks and look aggressive either. I don't know what he was supposed to do. To look at that game and say, yep, they lost because PBM on Maui was terrible, it's copium. I think there were a lot of other issues, and it was more to do with the entire core of the Dragons, that set. There was a serious problem. The Dragons could never get their core right, and I think the best thing they could ever do was disband, Mike have a new start, you know, Fine OK have a new start, and see what they can make of the players, because they could never get the core right on the Dragons. Even when I was on the team, I didn't think I was a big problem with the core, but they could never get the core right. There was always a problem either in mid or jungle or support even, and I wouldn't blame any individual person for that, but they could never get their core right. So the Maui game I can forgive. Yeah, Zap people. I definitely think the criminal Zap placement, but screw it, man. I don't care. This is a savage tier list. Okay, who's the next worst role, guys? Between jungle, mid, and solo, who has the average IQ of 80? Who have mostly dummies? Low-level players? Yeah, let's do it. Let's throw that in. Savage. 60%. Solo, all dummies. I think it'd be criminal not to put, Yeah, but we're averaging it, Scream. There's a lot of stupidity in mid. Paul can't just solo bring it up. Yep, it's mid. That was a trick. That was a test. That was a trick, guys. Mid has a lot of dummies. Maybe the dumbest role. Okay, I'll put dumb. Yeah, dumb. No, we're just gonna put low IQ. We've just got low IQ on mid. It's true. That's how it is. Uh, the skill level of the mids. You could argue they're higher than the solo and the junglers, but their intelligence alone goes right down, right down. Makes them go right down as rolls. Room temperature IQ, yeah, not good. Not good intelligence in mid. We're not gonna rate them based on intelligence, but they're all not smart apart from Paul, who's smart. Okay, so let's rate the mids. The thing with the mids is they're all pretty closely packed. They're all good players. Or they're all close, I should say. Oh, they're letting me down, hardcore primo. But I think there's a very obvious outlier, which is Snoopy. I think Snoopy is a quality player. I don't even know if his best role is mid though. The only thing he'll bring to the role that other mids won't is versatility. I think he can do a lot of different things. He can obviously play hunters to the top level, but he can also play assassins. I don't know if that's something that you'll need this meta or want this meta. I think if it comes down to just mages, Snoopy will be likely to be the 8th place mid laner. It's just because of the field, I guess, but I think Snoopy is a quality player. Kind of harsh to put him 8th, but here we are. Okay, what do we have here? We got some outliers. I'm a bit of a Ven enjoyer, and I'm a little bit of a Benny Q and Pagon, the brothers. Not a hater. I think the only thing I'll say is I think Benny Q is not worse than Pagon. You know what I mean? I think Pagon has maybe a little bit more. They're both of them actually. Both of them have really, really high potential. Like when I play against them, I feel like they are making like really, really good plays and outplays. So kind of sometimes they do better plays than the top mids, in my opinion. But they are around the same level, I think. I don't know. I don't know who's going to be better than the other. And then there's Ven, who I think it's hard to say whether Ven is better or worse than the brothers. Yeah, both can pop off, but I also feel like both are just like they're lower than average on a normal day. On a normal day, Shinto is going to do so much work on a normal day, but on a normal day, I don't know if Pagon and Benny Q are. Ven is 7th. I'm a bit of a Ven enjoyer. I think Ven's good. So solo kills doesn't. I mean, obviously, if one mid laner is soloing another, that does indicate a problem. With the game, the picks and bans, the way someone's played a 1v1 situation, that's a serious problem. But I feel like the idea of even going for 1v1s in mid is like not even a good look as a player. There is way too much Pagon propaganda. In fact, fuck this. You guys, and with your Pagon this, Pagon that, that's what you've done to him. He's there now because of you guys. He's there now only because of you guys. I think Daniel he had a good rookie year. He had a good rookie year, but we're gonna put him 7th, and this is a self-fulfilling prophecy. He's the Netroid of mid. That does make me want to put him higher. If he's the Netroid of mid, I want to put him way higher. He is kind of the Netroid of mid, isn't he? Yeah, maybe we take Pagon away. Oh, Okay, now I've just got a red that he's dead now. Yeah, we can't put Pagon 7th. We just can't. Let's just I'm a Ven enjoyer, so I hope he just proves me wrong. I'm a Ven enjoyer. I think it's so harsh that I've put him 7th, okay? I think it's so harsh that I've put Ven 7th, but whatever. I'm sorry, Ven, if you're watching this. I think you are way better than this. I think you could fuck around and win next Worlds. I think you could have a really dominant season. I think you're a great player, but we're just gonna put you 7th. Then we're gonna put Pagon, the Netroid of mid lane in 6th, and then we're gonna slam Benny Q 7th, the better brother. Benny 8th. He had a great play-in tournament. Okay, I'm trolling. We're gonna put Benny Q here, and we're gonna put Pagon in 5th. Okay. You guys love Pagon so much, and oh man, the only thing, okay, I think Pagon's a fine, bro. The fact that he's on his 2nd year of SPL and he's already a middle of the pack mid. Now that's a real good look. But we are gonna put Pagon as the better brother. Oh man, I feel like I've kind of caved. I feel like I've caved a little bit, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. But that's fine. We've caved. We've caved. Pagon's 5th now. Pagon better than Dardes! What? Okay, now? Okay, now? I just heard Pagon better than Dardes. Dardes soloed Pagon! If you want to talk about solo kills, there was a match that the Only Warriors played against the Dragons last year, where Dardes was Kernanos, and Pagon was Vulcan ahead. He was Vulcan 1 level ahead. The Dragons' whole team was owning. They were destroying. And then Dardes soloed Pagon, then solo carried the entire game. All because of that one solo kill. He soloed Pagon through a level disadvantage and beads, and then the Warriors won the entire game off it. I don't want to hear Pagon greater than Dardes ever until I see another year of Smite of Pagon just improving and Dardes declining, okay? If that happens, then I can hear it. Okay, then I can hear it. Pagon looked good on the Dragons. He had a great amount of players around him. I think he's going to have a middle of the pack year now because he's on a team of people closer to like his like potential and also level. I think the Warriors are going to have a weird year because I don't know if they have a team leader, but they are a middle of the pack team, and you guys are going to see it. You guys are going to see it this year. So we've got Pagon there. So we've got Shinto, Dardes, Paul, and Big Man, the big 4, in my opinion, of mid lane. Ven has that potential to be part of the top, in my opinion. And that's why I think it's criminally 7th. But in my opinion, there is a very clear big 4 in mid, and I'm a Dardes enjoyer. I think Dardes is definitely part, I think, of the top 4. But he's too inconsistent. And even though at his peak he can be better than the other guys, and I think he plays a better pressure game than all 4 of them. But the other guys, they just understand their role as mid and as mage perfectly. Really? Okay. You asked for it. You asked for it though, Hurry. Inbound, yeah, I'm an inbound enjoyer. Inbound and Van and Royd specifically, they are probably higher rated than other people. Shall I just put you back at your support role? Okay, so the big 3 well, this is the big 4 is Dardes, Paul, Big Man, and Shinto. I think now you're really getting into the nitty-gritty. For me, I think I went through maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years of believing Paul was overrated. But to be honest, now I'm a Paul believer. I think he's great. I think he gets in there way more. I think he is stone cold in any tournaments. So I think Paul maybe does. Thing is, how can you look at that Worlds performance and say that Big Man is not the top mid laner. We are going to put Shinto third. Oh. Why type it when you can just copy paste it? Okay. We're going to put Shinto third. He obviously has the potential to be best. Recency bias destroys him a little bit. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Recency bias 20%, putting him at third. We're going to have... It's between Jordan and Paul for me. Oh yeah, that's a good point. The thing is, Jordan's flexible, but the only extra thing he does is play hunters. But he does, okay, yeah. Yeah, Jordan does play more gods. I hate it. The thing is, Jordan encapsulates the mid-roll of low IQ so perfectly. This whole list, low IQ. Jordan, if you're here, I'm not sorry. And I love you as well. No. Oh, Hurry asked to be brought down. And I thought, you know what? He should be brought down. How about we add average gold player there? Paul is a set goat for sure. Okay.
Look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wankers. Yeah.
What's up, or Jake20? That's not you though. That's not awesome, Jake, is it? But thanks for the 4 months. Much appreciated. And welcome to the Twiggy Tree. Okay, now I think we've got the second best role of players in the league, which is jungle. So we are just going right to left, by the way. That's all we're doing. We're going right to left. And we're propagandering it with, not bad. We're just going right to left. Junglers, they're not, okay, they're not that good, but they're not as bad as the supports. Well, the supports, they're smarter than the mids, and we don't need to talk about ADCs, right? Literally the worst average players. Like I'd love to see any of those ADCs play like support or jungle one game. You know, absolute embarrassment. Okay, so we've got jungle. The second best role of players in the and I do think we do have the old Kerm Dog on 8th. The gladiators are getting a little bit owned. It's basically inbound and 4 shitters. You know there's something wrong when inbound is the best player on your team, okay? Someone's messed up somewhere when inbound is the best player on your team, okay? But we're just gonna put Kermie 8th. His play-in tournament wasn't that good. I won't lie. He knows it. Okay? He knows his performance wasn't that good. What I know about Kermie is he has that potential. He can play the meta. He can play the team game. So, you know, not as bad as Hurry. That's the only thing I'll say. Hurry's literally had to make a 9th. We had to make a 9th place for Hurry. We're not putting Kermie in the Hurry category. No, Kermie's happily 8th. I think he's just a little bit better than the average gold player. Bro, okay, the gladiators are literally inbound and 4 shitters, and inbound is not this, like, insane player. Okay, so someone's got to do something about this gladiator team. I just know, dude. I just know we're going to lose to them in the regular season. They're going to tweet this shit. I'm just going to get so much for it. I just know we're going to lose to these guys. We could lose to these guys in the first tournament we ever play against them, and we're going to get owned for it. But that's fine though. If we lose to inbound and 4 shitters, then it's God's plan. Okay, so now we have A lot of decent junglers here. I was pretty low on Oath, but then I watched the play-in tournament and I thought, damn, if there's any jungler that was smart enough to come in with the literal best strategy in order to win and play them and pilot them perfectly, I thought it was Oath. I thought Oath was great. So I don't know. Before I'd have slam dunked him 7th, not thought about it again. Though I think it's between Oath and Sino here for 7th. I think it is between Oath and Sino, and I believe that we have Sino's a world champ. He also was on that team for 2 months, and he made a finals run. We're not going to put Sino in 7th. That would be criminal. We're going to slam Oath here in 7th. We gave him a little think about it, didn't we? Because of the play-ins. We gave him a little think about it. The best thing about Oath is he's super young, and he only shows sign of getting better, so 7th, it's really not that bad, is it? Do you think he had a way better play-ins than Kermie, and he's just clearly a 7th or better player? We're gonna slam. I think we're gonna. It feels bad to do this, but we're gonna slam Sino 6th. I feel like this. Oh, actually, you know who could get 6th is Scream. Let me just have a little think. In terms of consistency, I think Scream is maybe the worst. Well, the worst jungler of the top 5. In terms of consistency, we do think Scream is the worst jungler of the top 5, but his peak, Scream's peak, how good he could be, or how good he is when he's comfortable and everything goes right in the draft, and when he gets to play his game, Scream is like a top 2 jungler. So, tough spot. Man, this is hard. I'm pretty happy with my bottom 3. I'm not going to change those. Sino's just going to be at 6th. He could prove me wrong hardcore next season. I could also just be right, and he might. There's a world where he's worse than Oath, but there's definitely a world where that exists. But he might also prove me wrong. He might just play a much better team game, and that won't be easy to see in the actual games. So I think we're gonna slam. Scream, Twig. We're gonna slam. Now we have Lass, Kennet, and Panny. We're gonna slam Kennet here. We're gonna slam Lass here, and we're gonna slam Panny here. We rapid fired that. I think that's good. Panny number 1 again, of course. Literally one of the best players in the league every year. Oh, I'm so humble. I'm only doing it for the clout, Hurry. You know that, right? I'm only doing it for the clout. I put myself 4th! Sub to me! I'm such a saint! Lass is definitely top 2. Lass is really good. Did you see his finals? I mean, not finals, worlds. He slammed Johnny. Literally slammed him 2-0. Was the better jungler in that set. And Johnny is like super high rated by people. Slammed Johnny 2-0. Played a better pressure game and won with pressure. Came to the semis, and for me, he was the best jungler I played against that tournament. And I played against Kennet, and I played against Sino, and both of them played. Well, Kennet played really well against us, and Sino, I don't think he had the best finals, to be honest. But Lass played a great semis against us. They did get 3-0'd, but that doesn't really capture. I think he was the only other guy that played Lance a lot. Yeah, well, he soloed me, Reyes, but he died for it. He soloed me, but he ran into tier 2 and died to Jark, so it was actually a huge misplay. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll be remembering that. It was a bad kill to take because he was 2 levels up and he had a way longer respawn than me. So, you know, you can realistically solo anyone you want if you're ahead of them. You just got to watch out that you're not taking a bad 1-for-1. I'm just a Panny lover. He had a terrible finals, so we're kind of forgetting the recency bias. He did just slam Daji twice, and it was terrible Daji games. I don't think he could play his game. I think he had a great year, though. He played great the whole year. We're also just Panny fans. What a go. He's definitely a guy I look at for ideas of how to play the game, and someone who's just going to master the gods he plays and play them perfectly. I don't think he's going to be the #1 team next year, but I think he's the best player on a middle-of-the-pack team. Pagon 5 seems weird. Yeah, I know it's pretty high, but thing is, the mid lane's just not that stacked, so Pagon got way higher than he should have. I know it's high, but I think the jungle's fine. I think Scream only 5th because of his inconsistency. Scream and Kennet could realistically change. I definitely think I'm a top 4 jungler, but Scream and Kennet maybe could actually just switch. Which we might do. What do you guys think? Kennet 5th? New to the league? Ven deserves to be there. Twig too high. Someone ban that guy. Someone ban those people. Oath and Scream? Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Scream should be higher. He's just inconsistent. Scream could easily be 3rd. I'd never said god tier role. That's just not what I said. It's very easy to enter jungle. You have to go melee range to do damage. Bro, how are you looking at these players? Literally, you've got a player that's below average gold in the league, and you're saying support is stacked. It's not fucking stacked, bro. I never said jungler's a god player role. I said not bad here in the jungle thing. And there's just a lot of quality. There's just a lot of quality in this list. I mean, we have a ton of worlds winners. Absolute ton of worlds winners. Lass hasn't won a worlds, but he's really good. I don't even know what you're saying. Oh, Ronnie just slams. Ronnie and Aurora make support so much better, do they, Sam? You're so wrong, honestly. Do your own tier list. Honestly, I'm about to reduce your stupid. This is even. I think this is wrong. Fraud because of Varity. This. We're gonna put genetics asterisk. Varity. Okay. So the star here, we've actually got him boosted by Varity here. Okay, now we're gonna do solo. Solo has just absolute so many monsters, doesn't it? What a great role. I'm kidding, you guys suck. There we go. Bang average. The what I'm trying to highlight here is that the SPL is a very Mickey Mouse SPL. Smite, it's a tier 6 indie game. It's actually a cartoon game that we play. There's not a single pro that's very good. There's not a single pro that's very good. We're all dumb, okay? We're all dumb. We're all frauds and we shouldn't be here. Okay? We're literally getting paid to play a little children's cartoon game. And then we get mad and salty because we lose a children's game. Because we lost a game. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to clue everyone in. Scary and D and Ducky are, I think they're bottom 2, but they're great players. It's actually hard to place them here. Oh man, I'm actually a Ducky fan. I've changed my mind completely on the Ducky of like 4 years ago to, oh my goodness, Ducky's owning. We're gonna put Ducky bottom, but I believe in the Duck. I believe in him more than 8th. Okay, I was very happy to see him. He was the guy I was happiest to see in the league, apart from maybe Sam for Soccer, who did not make it. He was one of the guys I was the happiest to see make it. Ducky, Kermie, really happy to see them make it because I believed they're just nice guys, aren't they? They're just nice guys. I hoped for better. He made it. Real happy about him. Scary D's 7th. He's just too inconsistent. We saw Scary D at one of his best in the play-ins. We just don't know what we're gonna see. He didn't even make Worlds. He didn't even make it to Worlds. And for my money, I think he didn't even deserve Worlds for the way he played in the Worlds qualifiers. Scary D he's a quality player when he wants to be. He's the type of player that can win Worlds, which he did, literally, twice. On his best and on his worst, he is not even on this list. So we're going to put him 7th, so we've got those two out of the way. I think it's hard to argue when you're just the two teams that had to qualify, and the solo lane is so stacked as it is. I think there's a ton of good players. I mean, I don't almost consider this like the big 6 in solo. They're all really good. Yeah, it's a pretty good list, Max. We've got the top 6 solo laners. One thing I'll say off the bat is I'm not going to put Variety first, even though he literally makes us all look better, but that is his job. And part of making a team look better than they are is that you yourself don't look that good. So Variety will not be first, just so everyone knows. All he does for the boys is he makes us all look sick. And he doesn't look like the MVP on game day. I don't know. Actually, who would be first? That's a harder question, I think. Who was the solo that made it to Worlds Finals? Who was on the Styx Ferryman? Sot! We played against Sot in the finals. Did Sot have a good Worlds, guys? Really, Nika? I think so. I mean, the solo laners that play against each other actually know more than the rest. I didn't turn off VODs, no, Sam. You just have to sub. Don't you? And it was on purpose. I don't want people watching the VOD for free. I'm gonna put this on YouTube, so. Oh, okay. So don't randomly sub to get the VOD here. I will be putting this on YouTube, guys. So if you want to head over to my YouTube channel, I think you can find it below. Subscribe, just so you don't miss this tier list, so that you can watch the replay. Bam, got him. Yeah, I don't think Sot was okay. So I think it's gonna be. I think FinoK's got a lot to prove this year. I think FinoK's got a lot to prove this year when I think he has been on the same team for 4 years and the team has not, like, they haven't won a Worlds. They've won a bunch of other tournaments. They've won a lot of different, like, events. They've been always competitive in the SPL, but he's never won the big thing. I think he's looked very up and down. I think FinoK sometimes looks like the best solo laner, and sometimes it looks like he's just trying to be different. So this is really hard. I think this is a really, really hard. Is YouTube a bigger chunk of my income? Not at all, no. From Twitch and YouTube, I basically make nothing. I make pocket money from Twitch and YouTube. Twitch, recently now, I've got a lot more subs lately, I'm making decent money.
Fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wanker.
But it's pocket money. Thanks Chewy Flakes for the gifter. Thank you so much. I think I'm gonna slam. Oh, man, there's so much quality. There's actually so much quality in these top 6. Yeah, you like the Gunther Steiner sub notification? I think we're gonna put Sot as the most inconsistent 6th. That I feel it's so unfair because he's got such high potential, but we're kind of putting him same thing as Scream, where they have high potential, but if you're gonna, like, these two were the Scarabs solo laner and the jungler last year. You remember that, right? They literally played for Scarabs. Wait, it wasn't last year, it was the year before? 2 years ago, fuck me. And they were good, but, like, so inconsistent. No, they didn't. Yeah, they played Scarab. They played on the Scarab seasons 8, I believe. Maybe Sot should be higher just because of the Worlds run. Are we gonna put Nika 6th? Haddix hasn't done anything. That's true. Yeah, you know what? This guy actually made semis at Worlds. We're gonna slam Haddix. We're gonna slam Haddix, who I think he's one of the most consistent players in the entire league, but he hasn't. Oh fuck, we can't put Haddix there, surely. No way, right? No way. Nika 6th? We were gonna put Nika 4. I think we're gonna put Nika 4. I think Nika doesn't. Well, Nika has the same problems as Haddix, right? Just being a consistent solo that doesn't win a tournament. Same problem. I feel like they're always controlling their lane. They're always playing meta gods. They're always doing good for their team, but they're not. It's hard to differentiate yourself, I feel like, in the solo. That's why we've got them on bang average. No, we're Baskin believers. I might. Oh man, this is so weird and awkward. I think Verity maybe has to be foot first. This is so weird. Yeah, but that's like Salt also loses them games by himself. He wins games by himself and loses games by himself. That's why Salt is like so weird to judge. I think we're just gonna put Verity first. We have to. We're gonna put Verity first. I didn't plan. Okay, I really didn't plan on sitting here and putting 3 Kings members top. I hate that, but that's the recency bias 20% that you get. Yeah, you know what? Just to make it better, we're just gonna swap. Should we put Paul 1? just to make it better. We're going to put Vaskin second. We're going to put Fonzo third. Is that fair? What do you guys think about that? Briv. Biggest god pool doesn't mean anything, Sam. He griefed our game when he played Jingwei against Bolts. The whole. So do you think that just because you played, yeah, well, he's got the star here, Bobby. He's literally boosted by our solo laner. Yeah, well, Jordan also has an ego problem, man. You know what, Jordan? You do have to walk on water. If you don't walk on water, then you are a fraud. I want to see some water that you walk on. And I want to see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more juice. Okay, you can do better. Where are you? Where are you right now, by the way? Where is Jordan right now? He's sitting in England, probably fucking bathed in a hot tub. There's probably a ice cold pina colada in his hand. Just oh SPL starts in less than a month, or I think there's a tournament in less than a month. Oh no, pina colada in my hand. Oh, Paul's probably grinding right now. Paul's probably slamming. I think he's been scrimming for a month. I need to see better, okay? I need to see better. I'm sick of this complacency. Oh, I just can't wait till you're exposed, Jordan. I just can't wait. And for that reason, I'm happy that Big Man's second. Ego check. Varity did come second. As you can see, Varity and Gen top. Gen obviously has the star. Supports. Okay. The fact that Gen is first is criminal. I hate to see it. You hate to see it. No one likes Gen being first. Do better. Okay? Do better. If I don't see some supports on top of Gen this year, I'm going to be so salty this year. This guy's head is about to fucking explode. So this is the tier list. Hurry did get 9th. He did ask for it. Okay? Average gold player probably could be in the league right now. If you're playing support right now, and you're just a bang average gold player, maybe cool, get Barracuda on the phone. You could have higher quality than their support. Alright. True, he will not be carried by... Okay, you know what Gen will not get carried by? Scepter? Cups? Crabs? All my buffs! All my buffs are enhanced! Oh, thanks, Ben! Oh, all their buffs, they're not enhanced! Oh, Ben! Oh, Ben, could you invade their crab and get my crab as well? Could you be the best crab slayer of the last 2 years so all my buffs are enhanced? My mid laner's got enhanced red, my ADC has enhanced purple, and theirs doesn't? Please, please, Ben! Then I can look like the best support, because my guys are doing more than their guys, because you've got the best crab slayer in the fucking league. So with no cups, no scepter, no crabs, Gen's actually screwed. And I'm here for it. You know what? I'm happy to see the world burn. See my team burn. Oh, now we're going to do realistic team predictions. And this is where I'm not going to do something that I've seen Hazer do in the past. Mechanics tier list. Brother. You're not going to get where you think you're going to get, brother. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, realistic team positions. I'm not going to just base it on the highest teams. I think it would be Kings. And then something like Dragons. Oh no, it would be... It might actually be the Styx Ferryman. No, it wouldn't. It would be Kings, then Ferryman, then Dragons, I think. But I'm not going to do it on points. I'm going to do what my realistic team predictions are, which is going to be completely different than where I base the players and the player tier lists. Because that basically this is my fundamental philosophy for how SPL teams are going to do. Is it's not really to do with how good you are as a player. It isn't. Such a hater, Jordan. I'd tango with you any day. And how did that mid-year go while I was on the Dragons, by the way? Literally rookie, learning gods, literally playing gods for the first time. Slam 2 tournaments, second place as well. I think win rate against Radiance was pretty good too, so I don't want to hear it, okay? I don't want to hear any of this top 8, Jordan, okay? My team predictions are that the Ferrymen are on top. I think they're gonna... Actually, no. Yeah. I think they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win Spring Split if we don't, okay? I'm pretty sure they're gonna win Spring Split if we don't. They've just got tournament winners. They've got Cyclone. They've got Paul back together again. I think Baskin is a great upgrade. I think he's more consistent than Solo is. The only problem they're going to have is that they might all hate each other. Who knows? We'll see. Ferryman on top. We're going to have the Kings right here. We're just smarter. We're smarter and we play together and play like Kings. We're going to put them second. Now we've got the Leviathans and the Dragons. We're going to put... That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm really high on a lot of the Dragons players and their quality. And I think their teamwork's going to be pretty good too. So I'm going to slam the Dragons here. Then we're going to slam the Leviathans. The Leviathans are the most... They could be 6th and they could be 1st. They're the most, like, it just completely depends on how FinoK and Adapting fit onto that team. Completely depends and how well, yeah, Pete keeps them. But Leviathans could be the best or worst team of next. Well, not worst. They won't be the worst. They have Spring Split Zap, so they're fucked. That's why we've got them on 4th. Yeah, also, the map does favor them. The map favors the Leviathans. That's all I'm going to say. Because they do nothing! Okay, 5th, we're going to slam the... We're going to slam the Ravens. I think they're going to play a better team game than the Warriors, who will be 6th, just off quality alone. Look at... Okay, so the Ravens, worse in every role than the Warriors. Better. It literally got them better than the Warriors. So figure that one out, you know? You've got middle of the pack players quality-wise, but it turns out all you need is good team play. Actually, for the... Yeah, we're going to keep it like this. Haddock's criminally low. We're actually going to put... Oh, I'm not going to put a star. I was going to say Haddock's and Zap, they're just criminally low. I don't know how it got to the point where they are, where they're 6th, but it's just they're criminally low. It is how it is. We're going to put the Hounds here, of course, and we're going to put the Glads here. Should have done it from the 8th to best. But I think this is gonna look... This is the realistic team predictions. I have Ferryman doing really well. I think they're going to do really well, and then the Dragons and the Leviathan